We have heard Guilia and Stephanie Vaquer be referred to as megastars, but they'd need to be knocked out and dreaming, because that is the only stars they'd be seeing as we cover the NXT quarter hours that once again show nobody cares about these two. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. The numbers are in for NXT, and the so-called megastars, Guilia and Stephanie Vaquer, spoiler alert, were a part of the lowest rated quarter. Now, I know some guys don't necessarily know what a megastar is these days, probably because there is none in wrestling. Therefore, I do feel sorry for you growing up in an era that absolutely sucks and you don't know what a huge draw is. But I can tell you this, Guilia and Stephanie Vaquer, they are not that. They are not megastars. You take a Prime Rock, a Prime Austin, Prime Hogan, you can put him, you can put them, you can put any of them into any quarter on an NXT show, and it is going to gain a massive amount of viewers. But these two supposed megastars team up in the main event and actually lose viewers. So yeah, I just had to debunk that little theory there.
Shawn Michaels says they've got the it factor, they've got the shit factor. If they were worth anything, man, they wouldn't be on NXT.
Yeah, look, people in the comments keep saying these two are meg. You need to stop. They are not. They are not. They had the lowest rated quarter, and it was the only quarter that didn't feature a break. It was the only quarter that did not feature any advertisements.
And it's the fact they're teaming up with each other. I actually don't really understand what their booking is here. And now they've added a new one into the mix by Sari, and apparently she's a megastar.
Now, normally when you have no quarters, no breaks, no advertisements in a quarter, that means the number does well. Because people aren't switching channels during the break, but not on this occasion anyway. We'll get there when we get to the main event. Quarter 1, 8 o'clock to 8:15. Io Sky and Kairi Sane taking on Lash Legend, Jakara Jackson, 794,000. This was the highest rated feud quarter of the show. Probably because it was the opener and it just goes downhill from there. Another thing, actually, just before we talk about K-Demo, by the way, had 221,000. But before we get into quarter 2, Meltzer's talking about, well, actually, Dynamite is available in less households than NXT, so therefore that justifies the lower numbers. The fact is, right, you could put this wrestling shite in 1 billion households. People aren't going to watch it because it's fucking wrestling. Meltzer's making it like, oh, if AEW Dynamite was in 5 more million homes, it would tank AEW. Dynamite's pish. You could put it in most homes and most people ain't going to touch it.
Yeah, I mean, I buried him in that fid. I mean, he is definitely paid by AEW.
No, but
but why would he defend AEW like that?
But he's simply stating, and he's thrown out there suggesting that if Dynamite was in more homes, then the number would be beating NXT.
Well, do the math, right? If Dynamite did, what did they do? It's like 637.
Well, I think he was focusing on the key demo. I think they did a 0.16. NXT did a 0.19, and I think it's 66 million. He says households that Dynamite's in, but 72 million households that NXT's in.
Yeah, but why is Dave Meltzer caring about the 18 to 49? He's supposed to be an independent journalist.
Yeah, but even by his own maths, if NXT was in 6 million less households, by average, it would still have done higher than Dynamite.
No, I think Dynamite did the 0.19. And NXT did the 0.16. But it doesn't really matter.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. Dynamite definitely, no, because when I made the fit, he was making the point that, yeah, Dynamite got beat in the overall rating, but Dynamite beat NXT in the demographic despite being in 6 million less houses.
But it's fucking nonsense. Wrestling sucks. It doesn't matter how many households this crap's in, not many people are watching it.
Well, that's it. No, it's pathetic.
He's trying to make out if only it was in more households. The only people watching this are fucking nerds.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
People have to talk about it.
Yeah, like
sadly.
Us. What do you want to talk about? But, he could spin anything, man. Meltzer, his favourite superhero must be Spider-Man, because he spins so many fucking webs trying to justify really shite numbers.
He's more like the Riddler, talks in fucking riddles and speaks shite.
Well, that's one way to look at it. Right, anyway, quarter two, Damage Control versus Metaphor continues. Post-match with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. We get Hank and Tank. We get a guy called Cole Custer. No idea. OTM angle. We then get Brinley Reese, Sol Ruckett, Carmen Petrovic, Ashanti Adonis backstage. And then we get Tatum Paxley versus Jada Parker. This goes down 4% to 761,000. But it was the highest key demo quarter of the show with 228,000. Quarter three, Paxley Parker continued. Lexi King, no quarter catch crew, backstage angle. Cedric Alexander, Siobhan Evans, Axiom, Nathan Fraser, Wes Lee, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia Fideo, the family backstage. So look at this. We actually had Stephanie Vaquer and Julia in this, and it lost 6%. Ooh.
Whose idea was it to give Reasons longer on the mic than Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, two people that can actually speak fluent English? Enlighten me in that. That makes no fucking sense to me.
I think Cora Jade's a lot better on the mic than Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, well, these two can't even speak English, man. That's my. Me, yo, si, daba, yo.
Maybe Carlito needs to tell them, hey, you better learn.
You better learn some English. I think he'd be cancelled, Carlito.
You better learn some Spanish. Anyway,
they're alright in that department.
Can Julia speak fluent Spanish?
I don't know.
Well,
I'd say she's better at Spanish than she has English.
She's lived in Japan her whole life.
Yeah, but Spanish is the most popular language across the world, mate.
But she's from Japan.
But there's more chance of her knowing Spanish than English is, man.
I think she's... What, is she half Japanese, half Brazilian?
I think so. Brazilians speak Portuguese.
It's close to Spanish, though.
Half a chance she knows Spanish.
Right, anyway...
She's wrestled in Mexico.
Anyway, look at Cruz Avino versus Obafemi. Post-match with the family in quarter four. Down another 6%. Down 11% in the key demo. Not good. Quarter 5, 9 o'clock to 9:15. Ethan Page and Trick Williams live promo. We then get Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, Fatal Influence and Kalani Jordan backstage. This goes up 5% in viewership to 709,000. And it went up 11% in the key demo to 214,000. I think purely just drawn here because it's quarter 5. I mean, Trick Williams, I suppose, helps as well. But what do you make of Trick Williams at the moment? Ever since he won his belt back, he doesn't really feel like he's a champ. He is the champ, but he doesn't feel that important.
Well, he's feuding with fucking Ethan Page. We seen it 6 months ago. Who cares?
No, but see for me, see if you're the man, you're not in one quarter. We just watched Raw 2003. Forget the date. Was it 6th of March?
10th of March.
Right. But look at the top guys on that show. They're seen throughout.
Yeah.
Austin, Rock had seen multiple times, segments in a match. Triple H, segments in a match. The top guys should be seen throughout the show.
Gunther on Raw was in one backstage segment that lasted 2 minutes.
Trick Williams here, just a one and done. Look at when Raw was at its peak. The Austin McMahon feud. No, 9 times out of 10 they'd kick off the show and then you'd see them consecutively throughout the night.
Yeah, but it's not only that, right? It's like, what are you paying them for? Like, if you're going to fucking use them once in a blue moon, or for 2 minutes, what's the point?
I just think they get... to me, WWE just... They book top guys wrong. Say you've got a roster of 50 people in NXT. Shawn Michaels seems to think that I'll try and give 50 of them all equal screen time. And that's not how it fucking works. Even Bischoff once broke down how he books it, and he says his main angle, his world championship angle, he gives 35% of the show.
Yeah, which is just over a third, obviously.
So that means in a 2-hour show, he's giving you, obviously you factor in breaks. Let's say a 2-hour show minus breaks is about, a minute, an hour 20, let's say an hour. That means he's giving you an hour, let's say an hour 30 sometimes. He's giving you about half an hour of the show would be taking up the main event feud. But obviously, sprinkled throughout, not just one. And that's the way it should be. And he says he's got a format where he's got the main feud, the championship feud, and then the feud below that, and then after he's got his main stuff, like the rest of the roster will just get sprinkled into the whatever, like 10-15% remaining.
Yeah.
But you look at this show and like how many people are we seeing appearing multiple times except Trick Williams?
There's a lot.
Why are we seeing Sol Ruka and Carmen Petrovic? We're seeing them backstage and we're seeing them in matches. We're seeing Lexi King in multiple quarters. We're seeing like Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez in multiple quarters.
Obafemi.
Hank and Tank, we're seeing them in multiple quarters. But we're seeing Trick Williams in a one and done. Kalani Jordan, we're seeing in multiple quarters. I'm confused.
It's just the way they book it now.
You got Hank and Tank in quarter 2.
And this was a go home show, by
Then
the
you've
way.
got them in quarter 6. You've got them in quarter 7. OTM again. You got them in quarter 2, quarter 6, quarter 7. You got Kalani Jordan in quarter 8, in quarter 5, and she's probably. I think I seen her in another quarter somewhere. Pretty sure I did see her in quarter 3 or quarter. So it's like, you know, it's just. I really don't get it. You got Lexus King, and like I said, quarter 3. He's in quarter 7 as well. It's just to me, it's crazy. It's for some reason it's just, and we seen it when Punk and Drew were basically feuding. It was right, throw them out there for one little promo, and then that's it. You'll not see them again the rest of the night.
Just weird.
I don't get it. Anyway, where were we? Quarter 6. Sol Ruka versus Carmen Petrovic, Nikita Lyons, Tyson DuPont, Tyreek Agui, Obafemi backstage, Hank and Tank, Cole Custer backstage, and then Hank and Tank versus OTM. And that's holy shit, that's 3 separate times we've seen Hank and Tank in throughout 3 quarters. What's the reason for that?
Disgusting.
Minus down 5% though, 676,000. Up 6% in the key demo though. Then we go into quarter 7. Hank and Tank versus OTM versus Axiom. Nathan Fraser in there, Ava, Lexus King, Ridge Holland was in there, Tony D was in there. 2 ad breaks during this, down 4% to 647,000 viewers. It leaves you quarter 8, the main event, no more breaks. We're with you to the end. That kind of tells you that they want you to stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, guys. No more advertisements. We'll be here to the end. And what we got was Guilia and Stephanie Vaquer taking on Fatal Influence. Post-match with Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, Kalani Jordan, and the brand new Saraya. And this went down 1%. So 6,000 lost. Despite having 2 so-called megastars in Guilia and Stephanie Vaquer, and apparently a brand new debuting megastar in Saraya, and they still lost 6,000. With no advertisements, no breaks. Piss poor.
I think just NXT in general's got a lot of women on it. Too much women. But, I mean, how can they dedicate so much time to like a 2-on-2? But then Ethan Page Trick Williams sucks though. But at the same time, the quarter did alright. But CW and that, I mean, they had that fucking guy for the NASCAR on, man. And his clips on YouTube had like 13,000 each. No one gives... See on wrestling, right? No one cares about NASCAR. And fucking a million times out of a million, people watching NASCAR don't care about wrestling. Unless it's like the megastar, like John Cena waving the checkered flag. I think anyone gives a fuck about Johnny Gargano waving the checkered flag?
No.
You know what I mean?
See, no. See, my big issue is, see when wrestling used to do crossovers back in the day, I felt like they got big people.
I like LeBron James.
Like, look at the Arnold Schwarzenegger in. Or see if you're going to have someone for wrestling go and interact in a different sport, it needs to be a top guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll get, there's people from like the LA Lakers, and it's some guy you've never fucking heard of in the front row. Like, see, back in the early 2000s, like, see when there was somebody from a sports team, you knew who it was, and that's without even really having an interest.
It's weird though, they got Patrick Mahomes on Raw like a couple months ago, and it just didn't even feel that big.
No, but that is big, I'll give them credit there, but see, unless you're going to get a top guy, why even show him?
Why even show him anyway? There's not many top guys on NXT, that's for sure.
Tell you what though, I seen, I think it was a baseball game, the Hardys and Joe Hendry were at it, and it panned to them, and I'm not going to lie, it wasn't a mega pop like, but it was certainly bigger than what Darby Allin got.
Because everyone knows the Hardys.
There was cheers, you know.
There's a good chance that people will know Joe Hendry just due to the memes.
At least they got some. They didn't get like a Stone Cold pop but they got some cheers.
That's what I like to hear.
So there you go, TNA beating AEW. Anyway, guys, NXT numbers, they're getting lower, aren't they? I mean, it's an improvement on last week, but see this whole regularly hitting 1 million, that's a pipe dream. I'm going to throw it out there. I don't think NXT will ever hit 1 million.
No.
Not on this CW.
Unless John Cena has a fucking retirement match on NXT or something.
Well, that is possible, but, you know, they've already had Punk on it, Orton on it, and they couldn't hit 900k. For me, if they were going to do 1 million, it would have been in the debut week or the second week. They haven't done it, and I don't believe that we'll
they're in
ever
the
see them.
ECW arena soon, going up against Dynamite. That'll be another fun ratings war to discuss.
Alright, and we'll discuss it here, guys. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.